So, welcome to another edition of It's Your Health, but That's My Dollar. Today we are honored to have on our show a formidable health coach in one Gina Brower. Gina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit how you got started in the whole health care profession. How did you become interested in that?
Well, I actually got a nutrition science degree in UC Davis, but as I was studying it, it was too restrictive and it was a diet that I couldn't even follow. So I wanted to stay in the science field, and so I ended up in the science biotech field for about 14 years. And recently I ran into a health coach certification program, and they didn't talk about having restrictions on the diet. It was about having a healthy, happy life, and just creating changes that are fun, free of denial.
So more joyous.
Much more joyous.
And open-ended, perhaps.
Yes.
So tonight we're going to kind of focus on lowering our blood sugar in sort of non-invasive and non-pharmaceutical ways. First, tell us, what is diabetes and why do carbs increase blood sugar?
So diabetes, if you look up the term, it's about increased urination and increased, you get thirsty a lot. So I think for the reason that carbs it's actually fast digesting carbs that are bad. So what happens is when you eat those carbs, your blood sugar goes up.
Wait, so not all carbs are bad?
Not all carbs are bad.
Like kasha, I think, is a good carb, right?
Kasha is a very good carb.
Why is kasha a good, that's just fun to say. Why is kasha a good carb?
Because it digests very slowly through your gut. That's why.
I see.
Yeah.
So I've also heard that people that are diabetic don't have enough oxygen attaching to those sugar molecules or sugar intake. Is that true?
Probably, because you've got a lot of blood sugar circulating through your body, and you don't have, you just need the extra water, and people have to drink a lot of water to get it through, and what happens is you can't drink that much water, so you just urinate it out. Recently
I heard a seminar from a physician, and he indicated that diabetes does not come about as a result of obesity or diet, but it's more related to the environment and antibiotics. Do you have any position on that? Does that resonate at all with your stream of consciousness?
It does, because the gut health, the foods that we eat, processed foods, actually tear up the gut, and it creates the bad bacteria to grow in your stomach, and it's not healthy. So then what happens is it leaks through the cell walls, and then you have an inflammatory response to it.
So are there good forms of bacteria? I've heard like frozen yogurt might have some type of living organisms inside them that actually help your digestion.
Oh, yes.
What's your take on that?
Very much so. There's prebiotics, which are helps feed the bacteria the good bacteria that's already in your gut, or you do probiotics, which you add the bacteria, good bacteria into your gut.
And how does that help?
And how it helps is actually our body has about, I think it's 9 to 1 or 10 to 1, 10 of bacteria in our bodies and to one human cell. And so actually we're run by these other organisms.
I thought we were run by our mothers. No, maybe that's just my family. Back on track.
Okay.
So, why is it that so many medical doctors, and I'm not here to put down any disciplines, but why is it that from the time somebody is diagnosed with diabetes, they start prescribing pharmaceuticals?
I think it's just in our culture. We've turned our mindsets to think that a pill is going to fix things. And if it hurts, we have a headache, we want it to go away right away. But what prescription drugs have turned into is long-term care, and that's not what they were supposed to be used for. They were supposed to be short-term care.
Really?
Yeah.
So I've also heard that a lot of pharmaceuticals have toxic qualities, that they could actually be poisonous, which seems counterindicated. If you're trying to fight a poison or a toxicity issue with other poisons, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me.
I think, well, a lot of the pharmaceuticals actually came from plants, and then they were made chemically wise. But the toxins, in my opinion, is really because you're adding such a high degree of this chemical into your body, and now your body has to try to get rid of it, and it's foreign. It's never seen it before. And so the toxins are just accumulation buildup of medications taken over long term.
Okay, so let's say I'm a client of yours, and I'm diabetic, and I want to get off my meds, or at least reduce them. You know, stop taking the metformin, reduce the glyburide. What would you do? I mean, I'm sure every case is different, but generally, what would your recommendations be?
First is to cut out the fast digesting carbs, and because it increases insulin level. And the side note is that insulin also increases your body fat storage. So it turns on that mechanism. So that's why I would say carbs number one. And then the other thing is eating foods that have high nutrient levels in there, because our body, our cells need the nutrients to be as optimal as possible. And then third would be gut. The gut is the one that digests the foods, make it a healthy environment for it. And if we have these foreign bacteria that's in our gut, why not make them happy in order to be symbiotically helping us in our health?
Please those little buddies.
Exactly.
Make them happy.
Very happy.
So you talked a little bit about nutrients, and I've also heard, it sounds like I'm slamming pharmaceuticals, but a lot of these drugs that are prescribed by medical doctors seem to take nutrients out of the body. So if that's true, what kind of things, what kind of supplements would you recommend to supplant the nutrients that are coming out of the body?
I think you have to go to each drug and see. There is research out there on the internet that you can look up for a specific drug, and it will tell you which one it gets depleted by. But for anybody, it really is getting a multivitamin that's from a whole food source. Not Whole Foods the store, but whole food source that's from plants. And that would just be your basis, and start off from there, because I know some of the diabetic ones decrease the zinc level, and that's a very important nutrient that you have. And if you're not eating whole foods already, like greens, then you're depleting your body even more, to a point where your cells are not very happy and they're not going to be able to perform optimally, which then gets you sick.
So then you can actually chew zinc and get into your system somehow? Is that a possible supplement? You can just go to a regular health food store and say, hey, I want to buy some zinc, and chew it and make me healthier?
Yeah. Zinc doesn't taste very well, but okay. I would probably say to go through first a multivitamin, and then from there go to your doctor and get some tests to figure out which nutrients you're depleted on, and yeah, work that way.
What about enzymes? What's your stand on enzymes?
Enzymes they help your stomach digest food, and so the food is broken down before it gets to your gut. If the food is not broken down, then it creates havoc, and that creates inflammatory responses, because your body's saying, I've never seen this before. It was already supposed to be broken down. Why is it so big? It must be a foreign object that's trying to attack the body.
Right. Hey, body, what's going on? I don't know. I'm just a body. So what about exercise? A lot of physicians and nutritionists say, look, if you're diabetic, you have to increase your exercise. What do you think about that? Exercise is very good because it allows your blood to get moving, and your muscles, and it also makes you happy. I mean, insulin increases your dopamine levels, which makes you happy. It's a happy hormone. Exercise does the same thing. So some endorphins are coming out as well. Speaking of having fun, we're going to sample some of the treats that you brought in today. Now, one of the ways you work with your clients is not only by recommending certain supplements, but you'll also come in and do a tasting with them, which I was lucky enough to encounter recently. So what do we have today, Gina? What did you bring in? I love doing tastings because it's fun for me, and it's definitely fun for the client. Now, I brought dark chocolate in because, as a lot of people know, it's an antioxidant, but it's also a probiotic. It won't make me lactose intolerant, will it? No, it should not. Though you have to read the label. Okay. If someone's very sensitive, I would probably not do it. But I know. How about instant pregnancy? Because I don't have my doctor standing by. I guess I don't have to worry about that. Oh, let's get started.
Yes.
What's the first one that you brought?
Okay. So I'm actually going to do it by percentage, and then you can tell the audience how
if I'm still
it
alive.
tastes.
Okay, let's see.
You will be alive.
Okay. So what percentage are we talking here?
This is 70%.
Is that good?
It is. Anything that's 70% or greater, in my opinion, is good.
And I bet my dentist will love it too.
Yes. And so will your gut.
Not bad. Not great. Not bad.
Not bad? Okay. We'll go to the next one. And this is Trader Joe's.
Okay.
And I like it because it's on the cheaper side for people who want to have it and they don't have the right budget.
More accessible.
It's 72%, exactly.
Now, what do these percentages mean? I mean, what's the other percent?
The percentage is based on the cacao bean. Now, some of these chocolates have cacao bean, and other ones actually process it and make cocoa.
Okay.
It's a little bit different.
So cacao, is that when you like chop a cow in half? You got cacao? Something else. Okay. Let's try this one, folks. Not bad.
Not bad?
I like that better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another 72%.
Not as much aftertaste.
Okay. Another 72%, but this has
So you're gonna hit me
sea
with
salt
sea salt
and almonds.
I bet I'm going to like this. I always like the salt, sugary thing going on.
Exactly. It's a nice feeling.
And this is okay for a diabetic, even though it has sugar in it.
Yes,
Okay,
because the percentage is low. I think all of these I'm showing you are 11 grams or lower, and the serving size is like either the whole bar or half the bar. You're really not going to eat that much.
Oh, you'd be
well,
surprised.
hopefully.
I might do some binge chocolate eating. That one was the best.
That one was the best.
That one did not taste like shoelaces.
Those are all the 70%. I'm going to be moving to the 80%. You're going to have fun with this.
Put on my seatbelt here? You're going to go up the meter a little. Okay. Into the 80% zone.
80%
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Stand by.
So this one is 85%.
85%.
Yes.
That's way off my fun meter. Okay.
I don't know.
It's okay.
It's okay?
It's okay.
Okay.
I like the sea salt thing better.
Okay. Yeah. And then this one is the Dagoba.
Yeah,
Probably said that incorrectly.
It doesn't matter.
But it's 87%, and this is actually from cacao beans.
Okay.
So you can really taste
that
it.
with some real
this one's
sugar.
kind of bitter.
It is. Thank you. Thanks, Gina, for making my life fun and a little bit bitter. But
and then,
if you don't have the bitter, you can't have the fun. We've run out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Next week on It's Your Health, but That's My Dollar, we're going to figure out a way to reduce your migraine headaches. So we'll see you next week. Again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
We didn't get the last one, but that
I know
was
we
okay.
didn't.
Maybe next time.
Okay.
Or maybe we can do a little film.
Okay, but you can.